we must look at. So, what I kind of, this is where I go off my notes. So, what I kind of want to ask you is that, what do we know about a king? I think it's so hard for us to kind of picture what a kingship looks like. Obviously, we know that Jesus is coming back to set up his kingdom here on earth. I kind of talked about last week about the literal kingdom here on earth. What does a king look like to us? I think it's really hard to kind of imagine, especially in our society, because first of all, we're not under rule or anything like that. We have a government, we have a say, we have a vote. And so I kind of just want to, some things that might picture in my head when I thought of a king. So King Tut, Martin Luther King. The line from, what's that from? Narnia. Everybody picture it. Burger King guy. King of the Hill. Who saw that 3D? Good? It was good, wasn't it? I mean, it wasn't too much. Simba. What's his name?
James Earl Jones is his name.
So what is a king? I kind of went in the dictionary online. I don't know if it was Wikipedia or something. That's supposed to be male ruler of an independent state, one who inherits the position by right of birth. So if you remember last week, we kind of talked about how King David had this genealogy leading up to Jesus as being the rightful king that will sit on the throne forever. A person or thing regarded as the finest or most important in its sphere or group. Kind of what I picture, this is going to date myself a little bit. Who remembers the Robin Hood with the king, the cartoon Disney? And the king just, and the lion goes off with its head. And I was trying to find the video clip for it. And that's what I picture of a king. I picture a king yelling, off with its head, off with their head, off with their heads. And that's all I can picture. If you look in our society today, you want to use this as an example. Obama, alright, so you guys, no. Obama is not the Antichrist. I'll clear that up right now. As far as I know. But if you do put some words backwards in the Bible, it's still Obama. I'm just joking. But okay, so let's say, if you write a letter to Obama and you said, I don't want any more potholes. I hate them, they slow me down, and I just need to get to work. Alright? You write this letter to him, and you send it in, and Obama reads it. You know he's going to read it. What's his reaction? No, what is he going to do? He's going to take the letter, kind of look at it, read it, go, oh, there's only one of them. Like that, right? Alright, let's imagine that we're back in the day, and you go up to the king in the courts, and you go, King, these stoplights, you're slowing me down. I need to get going. I don't like how you're kind of setting this all up, and I think you need to get rid of them. And, I need to get to work faster, and I need to sleep more. What is that king going to do?
Kill you.
Oh, you don't like what I'm doing? Take them out. You don't like my ruling? Oh, you don't like my laws? You don't like my establishment? Get out of here. That's why I think it's so hard for us to try and understand a kingship and what's really going on. So, he's a leader, authority figure. He's the final say. So what do we think of when we think of a king? What do we think of? Just, I mean, you don't have to answer, you can think to yourself. I kind of want to talk about Christ's second coming and his kingship and how important we should view this whole Revelation, this book, as setting up a kingdom. I kind of want to talk about this from Zechariah. amazes me, and I can't picture this yet, and maybe you guys can too, or maybe you guys can picture it better than I can, but on that day, his feet will stand on the Mount of Olives, east of Jerusalem, and the Mount of Olives will be split in two from east to west, forming a great valley, with half of the mountains moving north and half of the mountains moving south. The way Jesus is going to come back is going to be glorious. And I can't even just picture it. Can we go to the next picture? This is what the Mount of Olives looks like. That this all right here, these are all tombs, kind of in the way that they used to, it's on the kind of like the backside of Jerusalem, and they had all these tombs, and a lot of people used it for burial sites. And there was also olive trees, and it depends on where you look, but the picture I have is basically tombs, and he's going to come on this mountain and kind of stand on it. It's going to split. Can you picture that? Can you picture how powerful our King is? And the crazy thing that is that it's already written that this is going to happen. Sometimes it's just hard for me to kind of imagine. So what I want to talk about is the different aspects of kingship within our King Jesus. So the first one is that he's a ruler. Our King is a ruler. He's a conquering king. That he knows what is his and he's going to take it. That within Revelation 19, I think it's like verse 12, they talk about him, he's coming back on a white horse. Now, a white horse might not mean anything to you, but it means so much within that time of writing, because when a Roman general came back from a victory, he would ride a white horse, he would drag dead bodies behind him through the streets of Rome, up and down. Sometimes it was bodies, sometimes it was just heads, just dragging up and down the streets. And so when Jesus comes, he's declaring already his victory. He's not having a war, he's coming straight on that white horse. A glorious event. They see the Son of Man coming on the clouds of heaven with power and great glory after you coming forth there. They kind of picture this painting. This king is coming and he's setting up his kingdom. Authority will be established. Everything will be changed. This earth that you know won't be the same. Will be under a king. He will rule them with an iron scepter. He will rule them stern. That no one can break his law. We're going to also look at a king as the judge. He's going to be a judge. He comes and he sets the standards. With justice, he judges and wages war. Revelation 19:11. And that's the great thing about our king. That when he judges, he's not going to be unfair. He's going to use everything that he knows, and he's going to be just about it. That just to his standards, and then we can rely on his ability to give the correct decision in what he's going to do. So often they're off with their heads, and I kind of went over that. Soft thrones on which were seated those who have been given authority to judge. He's also going to set up other establishments within his kingdom and judges that are righteous. The dead were judged according to what they've done as recorded in the books. And I'm just kind of giving you an idea that this is kind of after the millennial kingdom and everything, after the rise, but we don't have to worry about that until next week. But the idea is that he's going to come back as a king, and he's going to be the final say, the judge. And he's going to determine people's destinies. He's the king, off with their head, for well done, my faithful servant. And also, I think we overskipped this part. He's a king of love. That a king that sets up and he does all this for us. And I built on this last week. That how he came through, and he started this all the way from the beginning so we could get to this point. Yeah, we're just focusing at the end and all the judgment, all the wrath. But we do have to keep in mind, he is a king of love. He chose to do this. He chose this to save us. Instead of end up just in eternity and basically in hell, in separation from himself. I was listening to a Francis Chan sermon yesterday, or Monday, and he kind of threw this out, Jeremiah 3:19. I